Hello, my fellow comic book collectors. This is going to be an unboxing video. Woohoo! So basically, I got two packages. It's not a big unboxing video. I just did like last week. I did a huge unboxing video. It was like epic. It's not that level, but sometimes these smaller unboxings can be interesting too because it allows me to sort of talk about some ideas that I've been sort of thinking about. So first one, let's just get rid of that. It's got some painter's tape on it, but I was just thinking about what's going on with the market in general, and the market has been kind of going up crazy, and it's not normal for the market to really do what it's been doing. This is a very unusual market, and it's kind of interesting to see a market like this. It kind of reminds me, it's very reminiscent of the 90s. I know it's different. People always complain, oh, it's not like the 90s. The 90s, they overly printed the comics. Yeah, it isn't like that. But the way people are speculating on comics is very similar to the 90s. And what I mean by that is you get certain comics that you would expect would have some value. Like, I'm just looking at this, so, like, for example, the first appearance of Nebula, or the first appearance of Mantis, pretty cheap books. You can pick them up really, really cheap. And I have no idea what this is. What the heck? Okay, so I received a comic that I did not order. I never ordered this comic. I might have to contact the seller. So this is not something I ordered. It's a cool comic, but it's not anything I ordered. I actually have this comic already. This is very strange. So this is not what I ordered. I have no idea. I'm going to have to contact the seller, get them to send the correct book. Maybe I have to send this back to them. This is Micronauts #1. I actually have this book. It's a good book. Very unusual. Why did they send this to me? I'm going to have to look this one up and find out why they sent this. That's very strange because I already have this. And I did not order it. So, yeah. Very cool. I mean, it's a cool comic, but not something I ordered. So very strange. That was unusual. I didn't expect that one. So I was like, why? Like, I haven't been sending many packages to my Canadian address. I've been using my Stackery account a lot lately because it's just so much cheaper. So I was surprised when I received two packages, actually. Now, I knew that there was one coming at least, but not two. So I'm not sure what that second package is. I'm going to have to find out what that is and contact them. So that was very unusual. So back to what I was saying about the comic market. So I think there's a lot of things that are being overpriced, what's this? Star Fox. So right now it's a really hot comic, anything related to Star Fox, because at the very end, spoiler, of the Eternals movie, there was end credits where they show Star Fox. Now, Star Fox is Thanos's brother, and he could be a potential character that will be seen in the MCU. Well, obviously, he is going to be seen in the MCU. So the question becomes, how big of a character is he going to be? Is he going to be as big as Nebula or Mantis or any of these other characters that we've seen many, many times? Or is he just going to be like a one-and-done kind of character, like the way that they did with Venom? I mean, what the heck? It was kind of weird that they kind of... Not Venom, Carnage, I should say, where they, they built up a pretty major character, and then really he was a one and done. I don't like when they do that with villains, where they, I kind of like the old style cartoons or comics, or not comics, but movies, maybe not movies, maybe TV series, where you have a villain and, the villain gets captured or gets away or whatever, but at least there's resolution, but the the bad guy kind of is defeated but not dead. Well, lately they've been sort of killing off the villains, and that's it for that character. So it's kind of disappointing because there's so many stories that could be told about those characters. So this is actually a very interesting comic, very rare comic, and I actually was kind of happy that I could find it. I gotta kind of censor it a little bit, not too much. It's Sally Forth #1 from 1976. This is from Wally Wood. He's kind of like doing these adult kind of style comics. So this is #1, I believe. If I remember correctly, I did order it I actually ordered, there's 4 in the series, or 4, maybe more. I think it's 4. I think it's 4, but it might be 6 actually. I think I ordered 1 and another issue. So I think there's 2 issues in here. So I'm just going to pull them out, open this up. They're quite huge, so let's see. Just going to put that over there. So these came really quickly. I only ordered these like a little while ago. And we got another one. So Sally Forth #2. So I ordered 1 and 2. And I also ordered 3 and 4. So they're also coming later. So you can, well, okay, sorry about the bum. Semi-PG channel. But these are pretty cool. It's like kind of a, like I can show you. It's all his artwork, Wally Wood's artwork. So he's, kind of famous for EC and all those kind of things. Just really great artwork in it. These are from 1976. They're quite rare. I believe they're self-published. So you can see the back. It's quite cool. So Sally Forth is a kind of an interesting character. She sort of made her debut in, I think it was 1967. And it was like sort of an adult magazine, comic character used in sort of the military, or the like, it was like they had like sort of a military news magazine, and Wally Wood published her first in that. I forgot which issue specifically. It was like, I think June 1967 issue or something like that. I'm just guessing. But yeah, just a really kind of cool character. In the 90s, and the reason I picked this up was in the 90s, during the whole Bad Girl era, they kind of, Adam Hughes, I believe it was Adam Hughes, re-released Sally Forth. And it was sort of an independent comic, but very cool little series. And those comics are quite valuable. I have like #1 and like the more valuable one that Adam Hughes cover. I think it usually goes for $300. I paid cover for them at the time. So it's kind of these campy kind of stories. I think they're kind of interesting. So when I was doing a little bit of research on where her origin was, it was this comic, like magazine, I guess. Like it's kind of like a magazine style because it's quite big. So I'm not really censoring it that well, but it's it's kind of like a magazine style book, but it's a comic, sort of in between. This was kind of her first comic appearance outside of that military magazine. So that's why I picked these up. But I was kind of curious about getting her first appearance. I like getting the first appearances of characters that I think are interesting. So I thought that was kind of cool. But back to what I was saying about the comic market. So part of the reason why I'm buying things like Sally Forth and not Micronauts, but I got Micronauts, is that I've been noticing that the market has been so crazy towards these mega keys within Marvel. And it sort of has driven me to kind of be outside of that. I kind of want to look beyond what's hot and go for more comics where my interests lie. So my interests lie in collecting some of these artists that I really like Wally Wood, like Dave Stevens, which I pretty much have the whole collection for Dave Stevens stuff. And I'm kind of going a little bit outside of what the mainstream is looking at, because if you try to go for those mainstream books right now, it's not the time to buy them because they're way overpriced. I just think they're way overpriced. You never see in historical sense books going up 10 times the value. So even when I was buying a lot of these books last year, they had gone up a lot, but now they've gone up another 2 to 4 times. It just doesn't make sense. So I'm looking more outside of the mainstream and looking for kind of books that present a really good buying opportunity. So these two books, for example, this was like $100 for the set for number 1 and 2. That's pretty expensive, actually. You could probably get it maybe a little bit cheaper, but they are quite rare. I mean, probably in the, a few thousand in terms of the publication. It's very, very rare books. So you pay a little bit more for them. But, I'd rather pay that for something cool like this than a modern book that that there's like 100,000 or a couple 100,000 of, and there's no real reason why that book is so pricey. So, this has been just what I've been thinking about. I know this is an unboxing video, but I've been just sort of thinking about this more lately, and my buying has kind of reflected that, where I'm kind of buying books that are a little bit outside of the mainstream. I'm just curious, what are you guys buying? What kind of books are you buying that maybe are you buying what's hot right now, the Comic Tom books? I shouldn't complain about Comic Tom, he's great. But there's a lot of that where it's like these super hyped books, and then they go up like crazy, and then they'll drop usually a few months later once nobody's talking about them anymore. So what are you guys buying? I'm curious. I'm just curious about these things. So I showed you some of the stuff that I'm buying, and yeah, I hope you found this video interesting. I know it's a bit of a ramble maybe, but yeah, what do you think of Sally Forth too? What do you think? Do you like Wally Wood? Wally Wood's art. This is, I don't know, it's kind of cool. And he is famous for doing EC, and there's some really great panels inside. I can't show you most of them because very adult. Not adult, like just lots of nudity. But really well done art, like very good girl art style. I really like Wally Wood. So yeah, that's my video. Enjoy, like, comment, and subscribe, and all that wonderful stuff. And check out my other videos somewhere on the screen. And thanks again for watching. Bye for now.